we now have the INJORA wheels, and we saw what a difference that made. Today I'm also going to test adding these. They're 48.5 gram outer portal covers, so they'll sit inside the wheel and you'll be able to see that shape through the wheel itself. Let's get to it. Okay, this is the first time the SCX10 III Gladiator has seen the 6 problem course since I did my first review all that time ago. The difference being, of course, these INJORA wheels. I've got a link for them in the description. They're just cheapies, and I think in black they really set the truck off. Now that was smooth as silk. Now we have a dig installed, and so because it's installed, we're going to use it. There we go. But with problem 2, with the longer vehicle here, we're going to have trouble getting over this. That peak in the middle is an issue. We'll see how we go. For a shorter wheelbase, usually I'd come straight through here and get the front left wheel just there. But we've got a few things working against us. There's the wheelbase, but there's also these Nitto grapplers. I'm in the way here. That would have rolled. I'll leave that one in. We're going to try, this is attempt number 5 for problem 2. Let's try a bit more speed on the entry. Well, it did it, but that was untidy. But it did it. On to problem 3. Again, the wheelbase will be challenging here, but oh, straight up, no dramas at all. That wasn't bad, was it? All right, this is problem 4, first attempt. Given the length of this thing and the fact that vehicles often get hung up on this rock here and also there, I'm not sure how good our chances are, honestly. Ooh, it is hard to say if we would have made that or not. I'm going to go back a little, just a bit. Gee, it's close. No! It may not be over, but I think it is. Yep, it's over. Oh! Problem 4 so far is looking like it's going to be the same. And the problem on this problem is once we lose momentum, it's all over. Yeah, alright. Problem 4 is out. Okay, on to problem 5. All twisted up at the start there. Little axial driver guy. Not giving anything away about how he feels about this course. Good poker face, that one. For a stock servo, yes, it could use more strength, but it's not terrible, honestly. And the front left wheel is spraying water up here. Take a small reverse. Oh, it's a slick, wet mess here. Now, I've got to move this camera as we drive. Oh, it's close, but it's going to do it. That was so close. Well, that's problem 5. Let's try problem 6. We've only failed on problem 4 so far, but we only just finished problem 3 by the skin of our teeth. But we did finish it. This is just with the Gladiator having these heavier wheels, and the front left wheel is quite wet from problem 5, of course. Now, even though this thing is long, the approach and departure angles aren't terrible. And rigs often get their bumper caught on this rock here, and this is, it's touching it, but it's not really caught up on it, so that's good. Oh, it's going. Ooh, that was getting interesting. I just want to try and pull the front a lot closer to us. There we go. Oh. Using the dig because we've got it. Now I locked that, but it didn't give us the braking we wanted. That was so close to falling. The extra weight down low stopped the rig from tumbling then, but I'm pretty confident we're not going to get up there this time. Now, although we didn't finish problem 4 and problem 6, I think we got closer than we have in the past. So now the truck's already doing better with these wheels on. Now we go in and throw this 48.5 gram portal covers on each side. That'll give us 97 grams more on the front. It doesn't sound like much, but each of these wheels already adds around 100 grams and it's made an enormous difference. So another 100 grams mostly below the axle level as well, which is really where you want your weight, unsprung and down low. So it's going to be at that level there. So everything below the center hole, that's good weight, all this down here. Let's do that, we'll come right back. And just like that, now we have brass portals, or brass portal covers. It's really straightforward. You pull the wheel off, you pull the outer portal cover off, that's plastic, it's only 4 screws, and then you need to prise the small bearing, the top bearing, out of the portal cover itself. Make sure you don't lose that. You press that into the brass cover, and then the only thing to add here is to check the grease on the portal gears. One side was really thoroughly done, but the other side was bone dry. I suppose they're manufacturing things pretty quickly, and so things don't always get caught, but you want to make sure that you've got good grease. If it's not going to be getting wet, any kind of grease is better than no grease, but I'd recommend a lithium-based grease, basically. It lasts a very long time and keeps its properties even through adverse weather. Right, SCX10 III Gladiator, let's get you onto the 6-problem course. Let's do it. This is problem 1 with the INJORA wheels and the extra 97 grams total of brass. That's outer portal covers. You can see them inside the front wheels there. Now, adding more weight can be helpful, but you've got to be careful with it, because every gram or every ounce of weight you add, the vehicle has to haul that up over the obstacles. So you are actually making its job harder. Oh, that was my finger twitch, sorry. You are actually making its job harder. But the extra weight does definitely assist in getting traction from the tires when you want it. I just lock the rear, pulls itself around, so you end up with more authority or traction, more traction on the rock, which is good. Problem 1 didn't present any trouble before, but problem 2 did, and I had to hit it with speed. So what we're going to do is try it slowly first. Now you see how the rear, this is all down to the rear tires. So although we have the extra weight in the front here, right now they're not doing anything. And so a lighter vehicle may be able to get traction here and haul itself up. But because we have a long wheelbase as well, we're hitting that skid plate. So we're going to bring the vehicle across and try and get these front wheels to do something. They've got the weight, so you need to try and use that weight once you've installed it. So I brought it over to where it had traction, as long as it doesn't. There we go. That's messy, but it did do it. It wasn't clean. I want it to go that way, so we might try that again. Last go. There you go. All right, it did it, but as I said, it took speed to do it, which is not ideal. Having said that, a pass is a pass, and we did do it. It was just not ideal. Okay, problem 3. I think the way to do this one is to come out here and then bring it around. We're too long actually. The skid plate will be hitting here, so the only other way to do it is to, I think, find a shape of the rock where we can keep those wheels touching. Maybe straight up it, maybe around to the right here. It's the same, there we go. So what I tried to do then was to put this tyre over there. With this extra weight, it's a liability as well as being a help. So once you add weight, you really want to just see the wheels that have the weight under them, which in this case, well, all 4 of them do. The extra grams here, we really want to maximize our use of the brass by keeping those tires touching rock as much as possible. You want those weighted axles to be able to actually work for you, because if they're in the air like this one is, the whole truck has to compensate for that extra 48.5 grams, so it actually becomes a disadvantage. Still, I've never got any truck up this angle before, but we may as well try it. Oh, I sounded like Tigger then. We did it. Okay, we've got 3 for 3. Problems 1 and 3 were very smooth. Problem 2 needed some acceleration to get over it. It did get there. I'm willing to forgive that because every truck, or overlook it, because every truck has its own characteristics. Adding the weight that we've just added changes the characteristics of this. So I'm basically learning to drive a new truck. There we go, look at that, did it. Okay, we've got problems 1, 2, 3 and 4 completed. Now we're up to problem 5. As I was just explaining, when you change a vehicle, change its geometry, or in this case its weight balance, you are actually, you end up with a very different car. There's some good and some bad, usually. I think adding the extra weight just in the wheels themselves, that was mostly a net positive. Adding the brass, even though we didn't go crazy with it, there is a price to pay for that extra weight. Oh, this body, there we go. Still not a fan of that body retention. Okay, I'm going to try and stay high and then come across. It's actually down to the back right. Alright, let's try that again. If we can stay high like that, I think we have a chance. Okay, so the skid is actually stuck on the rock right now, but we're going to bring it round and up, hopefully. There we go, that'll do it. we need more drag brake. Okay, this is the second attempt on problem 6. For brevity, I won't include the first one, but we got stuck at the hard part, the steep bit around the corner here. And what I was saying was, when it failed, the truck is a lot better now. The tyres are not awful on the rock. Check the Wet Rock Challenge video, the 12 tyres, or 11 tyres, 1 winner. That shows you that the Nitto grapples aren't awful on rock. But what this thing really needs is a better drag brake. So the next thing we need to do is to tune the ESC. I've left it stock for testing purposes and review purposes, but we're past that point now. So we're going to plug a 1080 card into it soon. That was the best this car's ever done, and that might be the best we get. So there you go. This thing is much better with the weighted wheels, the ENJORA wheels, and 48.5 grams of brass on each of the 2 front corners, not the rear. Why not all 4 corners? Well, you want a slight forward bias for a rock crawler. The length of this thing, you could make a case for brass in the rear as well, but every gram of weight you add to a rock crawler is weight that needs to be hauled up over the rocks. As long as you can keep a wheel that has weight on the corner, keep that on rock as much as possible, and you'll find that the truck does a lot better overall, which is what we found here. So just with the wheels, we had 4 out of 6 problems done. With the brass, we had 5 out of 6 problems done. Without changing the running gear, all that's left now is to tune the ESC. It's about a 50% drag rate. We want the drag rate as high as possible, so we'll have a fiddle with that next. This was not a cheap rig to buy, so you want it to really perform. It's a great trail truck, I think, but it really is not great on the rocks until you at least add some weight on the corners. Don't add any weight to the body, keep that low as possible. Unsprung weight is the key, get it low. Do that and it'll be happy days. If you found this interesting, please leave me a like. Make sure you don't miss my other video that had just the INJORA wheels. We did that last. This is part 2, and then I'll catch you next time for part 3 when we fiddle with the firmware. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time on RC-TNT.